Hey everybody, it's Tuesday and we just finished pronunciation practice on July 19th. And I'm back to normal, back to my usual place, my usual setup. It makes it seem so easy now. I appreciate it more. So we started with humid, which is happening right now. Humid doesn't look like it, but there is a Y. So you start with your tongue in a high position, like you're going to say you, but you start with the H sound, humid, and hold the D. So that little mark here is to remind you to hold the D instead of saying humid. And humidity, this ity sounds like iddy. Humidity. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. Adolescence, adolescence. Adulthood. You can say the T, adulthood, tud, or not say the T, hold the T, adulthood, adulthood. And the hood by itself is like took. So if you just said the word hoodie, you would say if it sounds like ooh, like hood and hootie, then your lips might be rounded. So don't round your lips. Hood. And the tongue is a little lower. Ooh, hood, hoodie. Launch. The ah vowel means you have to open much more. Ah, launch. And number 8, excuse me, lunch. So the means your tongue is low in the middle and pulled back, and your jaw is in the mid position. Lunch. So these two things could sound very similar. When is the launch date? Launch date. When is our lunch date? Lunch date. Shoulder. It looks like OU, but we just say O. Shoulder. And this is very weird. I don't know why they are spelled so similar. This is spelled OULD, but we don't say the L, and the vowel is like took. So should, the same as could and would. This one, shoulder and should. Shower. This is very ow. You have to open. Ow. Shower. Routine. Dun dun. Routine. Muffin. Blueberry muffin. Prior. This vowel is I, so you have to rise. Prior. Prior. I have a prior engagement. Memoir. This OIR is war. It's like saying R with a W. So if you said, how are you? How are you? That's the same war you need in memoir. My personal memoir. You can say this with a T and sound very correct. Importantly. Most importantly. But most people are going to be a little more relaxed and not make the t noise and just hold the N importantly. Importantly. And even in the word by itself, important. I have some important news. Importantly. Kennel. The vowel is like head. It's the same as the guy's name Ken. Kennel. And then that made me think of cough because when you put your dog in a kennel, you're required to have a vaccination, the kennel cough vaccination. Kennel cough. Wreck. When you just say wreck by itself, you don't hear the K. Wreck. Wreck. You hold your tongue in the K position. So if it was by itself, I was a wreck. That's it. I was a wreck. But if there's a vowel after it, then you release it. Wreck call. I was a wreck all weekend. And that means you were emotionally upset. But wreck can also be like a car accident. I got into a wreck again. Wreck again. Chagrin. Chagrin. So make sure you don't let your tongue go too high or it'll sound like green. Green, grin. Green, grin. Much to her chagrin, the party was formal dress. Chagrin means to embarrassment. So much to her embarrassment, the party was formal dress. Mutation. This is another mu. So your tongue starts in a high position. Mu. Mutation. Jewelry. We don't say jewelry as 3 syllables. We shorten it, drop the middle one, and say jewelry. So you're going from the L to the R. Jewelry. Jewelry. And I just have 2 different spellings because however you want to mentally like picture it as jewel or jewel, whatever helps you, it's just 1 syllable jewelry, jewelry, jewelry store. Pharmacy, pharmacy. And the guy that works there is the pharmacist. And cyst, yeah, sounds like cyst. Pharmacist. Refuse. If it's a verb, I refuse to go. Few, another YU, I refuse. It can be a noun, and if it's a noun, refuse. Stress on the first syllable means garbage. Obligation. Obligation. I have an obligation to be there. Emergency. You can say emergency. You'll hear people say both ways. So whichever one you prefer is fine. Emergency. Or the E is not stressed, so you can change it to or I. Emergency. And the adjective emergent. You can also say emergent. Make sure you have a good j in there. Accident. Accident. Accidentally. You don't say the T before the L. You're accidentally. You're already in the same place, so just skip the T. Mr. Mr. actually sounds the same as I really missed her because missed looks like ed but sounds like a T. And then with her, the pronoun H, we can get rid of the H and say er. So now it's missed er. Mr. sounds the same. Mr. Direction. You can say direction or direction, but not direction. Direction. Represent. Represent. The vowel is like head. Consecutive. And this it can be you like you, consecutive, but it's not stressed, so it can be easier, shorter, lazier, make it a y. Consecutive. Postpartum. You don't release the first T, so that little mark means hold it. Postpartum. Postpartum. Depression. Depression. So together, postpartum depression. Independent. Hold the T. Independent. And if it's this one, now you add an S. Independence. I forgot to watch my accent. Independent. Independence. Manhattan. So this is a good example of a syllabic in because you don't need to say Manhattan at all. Manhat. Your tongue goes to the T position. Hold it there. Manhattan. And that's it. Manhattan. Long Island. You don't have to say the G. Long Island. So you can. There's many people that do. It's common with a lot of dialects, but the majority of American General English isn't making the G. Long, your tongue goes very high in the back and the air goes through your nose, but you don't release it with the burst of air. Long. Slide your tongue back. Long Long Island. It's the same thing happens with long, ring, sing, song, hang. So if you make it the 2 syllable singer, hanger, instead of releasing it with a hard G, singer, hanger. So it's a very small difference, but practice controlling the tongue releasing slowly so that it doesn't pull down and air escape and make the G. So long G. Or sliding it back, long I. Long Island. Don't say the D. Mojave Desert. Mojave Desert. I haven't talked this much in a while, so my voice is a little tired. It's a good time to take a break, and I will be around tomorrow for intonation practice at 6, and I will be here next week at noon for pronunciation practice. Thanks. Have a good day.